Democracy. Democracy is just an exhausted freedom of speech that conduced our minds and liberated our tongues with words. Words that sang lullabies to our soul and silenced consciousness. Words only fed of gold and that made us full of greed. Words that murdered mothers and left daughters with skirts high. Words that moved mountains and polluted our ears with wisdom. Words that gave us rights and made enemies amongst ourselves. Words and a history that never mattered, so they gave us a robe to hang ourselves and we've accepted it. They gave us a robe to hang ourselves and we have accepted it with blood on our hands in our sisters' names. That granted us a voiceless voice and a right to vote. They faced us with bird smiles and laughed behind our backs. Stitched our mouth with rules and regulations, and we have never questioned that. While sitting on political chairs mocking us, laughing about the future of our generations to come, what we have become is a laughing stock to our neighbors, but we still have opinions of how well they suffer. We are so full of hate, even democracy can free us. So until Africans live free on South African soil, I will call this a medocracy. Democracy is just an exhausted freedom of speech that conduced our minds and liberated our tongues with words. An infused saint that got me intoxicated from the magic spells your tongue holds. How your words caresses my ears from your lips, with the tender tunes of your unspoken words. Your melodic voice is stuck in the air, still lingers in my head. Time is just an obsessive factor, exhausted in the moments in between. How your eyes stares into mine like a complete puzzle. Sparkles from the stars to find with the eclipse moon, stealing kisses from me all the time. Let our bodies sink with the blues from this groove. Vibrations from the top of our feet translated into body act as we dance to this gentle breeze. As I sit across the room, victim audience to your expansive eyes, enchanted by your noble presence, mesmerized by your simple smile, we lose ourselves into dreams, appreciating your precious existence, all else standing still, and the surrounding slowly fades away. The people too melts away. We lose ourselves into dreams. It's a complete form of an ecstasy, a gentle breeze. Acquaintance. We found comfort in the pit of our faith as the sun grays into sunsets. We found comfort in the pit of our faith as the sun grazed into sunsets. When all of the surroundings were covered in darkness, we found comfort in each other's arms. We buried our heads in the sands of hourglasses, hoping to become timekeepers. We soaked our faces in the mud and wore them as masks. It was profane, we knew. With every satisfaction it grew. Planted seeds only watered in the shadows. We needed a bit of courage to walk tall. Instead, we walked in talls as strangers. We found comfort in knowing our bed was made for us to meet there. A solicited place of romance. Behind closed doors we cuddle, in solace, waiting for birds to sing us into morning glories, to depart whole with just one for the road. My heart is a very beautiful island with vacant spaces. with other places anciently occupied, for the ones that I've sheltered there, for the brave ones that ever came for a visit and never made it out alive. I buried them there in tombs I dug with my bare hands. My heart is a decorated console, an undisclosed graveyard, full of all-coded boxes I used for storage, full of shallow graves wrapped in chains. My heart, full of all of these ghosts, ghosts that haunts me in the middle of the days and nights. I still hear echoes of their voices screaming for help, to be freed into ink, words that lingers on my throat trying to choke me, to be voiced out into powerful poetry. For so long I have tried to escape, but with acceptance and learning to live with these ghosts, I have found comfort in these ghosts. These are the ghosts that keeps me company in the middle of the night when sleep has deserted me. My heart is a kingdom of lost treasures with souls wandering in wonderland waiting to be saved. In rainy seasons, I pick a handful of rose petals and scatter it all over in remembrance of it all. My heart, a kingdom of lost treasures with souls wandering in wonderland waiting to be saved. Brain. I don't know if it's your voice or the thought of you that brings me to my knees. But each time I am without you, another piece of me dies. I long to hear you talk. I long for all the little things. How your lower lips touches your upper, and how they beautifully blend into your conversations. I pay caution to how softly your eyes blinks, and how they beautifully connect with mine. I am starving. Feed me all the sweet disasters. Unfold the pockets of your heart from the darkest corners of hidden caves. Introduce me to cities recited from the depth of your soul. Let all the demons out to play. Through the rough, sinking down the steps of a spiral world as we sink back down to earth. In our colonized mind, we seek to bear witness to our truth. What of life has become, the most excruciating of pains even Mother Nature can bear, wallowing, dangling in our thoughts' bread-affected days of salvation. Wars wearing crowns of motherhood with pride, breastfeeding fetus on commissions from Sasa granted on silver plates, cascading homes, parading heads, blessing minors. Daughters and mothers having equal sentiments of intimacy in one household. A raging mind of an innocent child stained with blood split between her thighs in a ritual held by her uncle to welcome her in womanhood. Silenced by a mother who called her a liar. I am man before I am woman. Social brutality buried in morality. A culture that killed us before birth introduced us as women. We stayed defeated, like Hela we wore the shame with pride. The power of woman named social sorcery. A dual receptacle enfolded to tradition bowed every man a muscle. In subconscious effort to rule, patriarchal gods blew all the vessels of wisdom, feeding subjective lies about womanhood. Acumen of feminine disgrace, despicable race, eroded populated perception, divided dominant opinions, majority rules. How can women be inferior? They have birthed this world. Their voices can unearth corpses from 6 feet under, singing praise in their names. Robben Island meant escaping chambers of hell. But when coming out of the darkness meant leaving the light too. Too many hands have been raised in the name of love. A mind filled with 1,000 forgotten slaves. I guess that's why We all live with ghosts. Women are rulers, consistent believers. They are chambers that rains fire. Never mind the length of your skirt. Wear the crown. Don't let them tell you otherwise.